I'm Mike Nicholson. I was a student athlete from 1987 to 1991 on Ohio State's rifle team. Most of the athletic department knows me as Micro, which was a nickname I picked up from being on the road with bands. But I've been with the athletic department 20 years now. I'm one of the electronics techs, and my primary responsibilities are to help maintain and run the video boards, scoreboards, and PA systems. I've been shooting since I was 6 years old, grew up with several farms to shoot at, and in high school I discovered that Ohio State had a rifle team. Had no clue what competitive shooting was all about or anything else, just knew I wanted to come down, find out, because I figured free ammo, free shooting, can't lose. So I was a walk-on and had my tryout in the fall of 1987. The coach at the time was Paul Gideon. He was 1 year coach, and then I was under Pat Cherry for the following 3 years. We went to NCAA's my senior year, where we took third place. Work ethic in a lot of ways. When you're practicing 3 days a week, with rifle, we were doing 2 quarters at a time. Our season starts in September and ends in March, so you're practicing constantly. You're on the road pretty much every weekend from October through March, so you have to learn both time management skills and be dedicated to doing your practices and being where you're supposed to be on time and making sure all of your equipment's there. And it's very similar to what I do with fixing scoreboards. I have to make out time to figure out how much I'm going to need, make sure I have all my tools available, all my parts available. Otherwise, it's just wasting time bouncing from one end of the stadium to the other to go get parts from storage. Having been one of the Olympic sports, I understand very intimately how football, basketball, and some of the other sports are treated versus being an Olympic sport. So I make it a point to do over and beyond some of the things that I would normally do, whether it's working with synchronized swimming or rowing or rifle and pistol. Not that I'm not giving my all when I'm doing men's ice hockey or football, but it's giving that next standard to say, I know where you guys are, I know what the dedication level and the practice schedule is and what you have to do. Because when you think about it, we have 2 different types of fans, to be honest. You have basketball, you have baseball, you have football, which all feed into professional sports. And you get a fan base that comes in because you're able to follow those fans or follow those players throughout their careers as a professional athlete. And then you have the fan base that's on the other side of it that's more family-based or more along the people that have played those sports or done those sports before, that are the ones that are showing up for synchronized swimming and diving, because it's not a professional sport and there's very little television coverage on that. So you kind of pour yourself into those sports a little bit more because they see you more often at those. I was on the road with bands in the early 90s, and it just kind of stuck. I was one of the guys that put all the microphones out on the stage for all the instruments and vocals and everything else, and they just shortened it. Since my name's Mike to begin with, it became Micro, and kind of works out really well when I'm dealing with so many of the different events that we do here, that people can remember, hey, I'm the sound guy, or if you can remember microphone, cut it in half, I'm Micro, and I answer to that, so it works out all right.